Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we've got something interesting from Fork and Fry. It's their piece on, well, your perfect Fish Loaf.
Hmm,
And, like we always do, we're going to really get into it, explore what they're saying so you feel well informed without having to read the whole thing yourself.
exactly. We're looking at that specific text, Fork and Fry Fish Loaf, season 229.txt, focusing on the recipe section. Your perfect fish loaf, a quick, healthy, and delicious recipe. It sounds, well, simple,
Yeah.
but I think there's probably a bit more depth there, maybe some interesting takeaways for everyone.
Fish loaf. Okay, let's be honest.
Yeah.
What's the immediate reaction? I mean, for some people, that might not sound like peak cuisine.
You're probably right. The name itself, it might not spark immediate culinary excitement for everyone. But you know what's interesting is that sometimes behind these maybe unassuming names, there's a dish with real history, real practical value. Makes you wonder why it's stuck around, right?
It really does. Actually, for me, hearing fish loaf brings back, well, it's pure nostalgia. My grandmother used to make it. It was just one of those, staple meals.
Oh, really?
Yeah, comforting, familiar, nothing super fancy, but it was reliable. So I guess that personal history definitely colors how I see it.
See, that's fascinating that you have that direct connection. It really grounds the whole discussion. When we talk about the experience part of food, the E in EEAT,
Mhm.
those family recipes, those traditions, they're incredibly powerful. It shows it's not just some like new fad. It's got roots.
Exactly. And, beyond just my fuzzy memories, the fork and fry piece really leans into the health side. They talk about it being a good source of protein and those omega-3 fatty acids.
Right. The good fats.
Yeah. So if you're looking for easy ways to get more seafood in your diet, this seems like a pretty straightforward way to do it.
It really does. And thinking about, general health advice, eating fish regularly is often recommended. So the idea that a simple dish like this could be a vehicle for those benefits, that's quite compelling. It's not just about convenience, it's potentially about well-being, too.
And convenience is definitely another big point they make. Quick and easy. Those words pop up a lot.
They do.
And let's be real. Who isn't looking for a tasty meal that doesn't demand hours in the kitchen, especially like midweek?
Absolutely. Time is precious,
Mhm.
right? So a recipe that acknowledges that promises something nutritious without taking up your whole evening, that's got built-in appeal. The simplicity they highlight really taps into that modern need.
Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. What actually goes in this perfect fish loaf, according to Fork and Fry? They suggest mild white fish cod, for example,
Uh,
but they also throw salmon out there as an option. And then the binders,
mm.
eggs and breadcrumbs. Pretty standard stuff.
Yeah, sounds like a solid base. Starting with mild whitefish makes it really accessible, even if someone's a bit wary of strong fish flavors.
Good point.
And then offering salmon, well, that caters to people who like that richer taste or really want to bump up the omega-3s. And yeah, eggs and breadcrumbs, classic for a reason. They work, they hold it together, give it texture.
Now, this is where it gets kind of fun, I think, the flavor. They suggest basics like fresh dill, paprika, lemon zest.
Mm,
All sound pretty good with fish.
definitely. Classic pairings.
But what I liked is how they immediately say, basically, hey, experiment. They suggest things like feta cheese, sun-dried tomatoes, maybe sautéed veggies. It's like giving you a solid starting line and then saying, okay, run with it.
That's a sign of a really well thought out recipe, I think. Giving you that reliable foundation, but then actively encouraging you to make it your own. That empowers the cook.
Yeah.
And it reflects how these kinds of dishes probably evolved anyway, right? Based on what people had, regional tastes. It's about personalization.
And they don't just stop at the loaf. They suggest serving ideas too, like a zesty lemon dill sauce.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, or pairing it with roasted vegetables or a crisp salad. It helps you picture the whole meal, not just the main component.
Exactly. Those suggestions elevate it. It's not just, here's a fish loaf. It's, here's a complete balanced meal. That bright sauce would cut through the fish nicely, and the veggies add, texture and more nutrients. They've considered the whole experience.
So if anyone listening is thinking, okay, this sounds interesting, but where's the actual recipe? Fork and Fry makes it really clear. They specifically state that the full step-by-step guide, the exact measurements, and extra tips from their experts, it's all on their website, www.forkandfry.com.
And that direct link, that call out to their site, that really boosts the authoritativeness and trustworthiness, the A&T in
Nice.
EET. It shows they're providing a concrete resource. You can actually go there and get what you need to make it. It's actionable.
Yeah, it's not just talk.
Yeah.
And they also briefly touch on the history. mentioning how Fish Loaf likely started in coastal areas
Makes sense.
as a practical way to use up fresh fish and how it sort of evolved into this simple, filling family meal over generations. It's kind of neat to think about where it came from.
It is neat. Understanding that history adds another layer to the experience, another E. It wasn't just whipped up in a lab. It has roots in, like, real life, in practicality, in generations of home cooks figuring things out. That adds a certain weight to it, doesn't it?
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
Connects you to those older traditions.
Yeah.
And the fork and fry piece wraps up with this really nice, encouraging vibe. They say how much they enjoy it and basically invite everyone listening to try it.
Yeah.
And then to share photos, give feedback on social media. It sort of fosters this community feeling around the recipe.
That invitation is key, I think. It builds community, allows for that feedback loop. When people share their versions, their tweaks, their photos, it enriches it for everyone. That sharing really builds trustworthiness through genuine engagement. People see others making it, enjoying it.
So wrapping up our deep dive on the fork and fry fish loaf,
Yeah.
it honestly sounds like a pretty solid dish. It's quick,
Yeah.
potentially really healthy, super versatile, and it even has this little bit of history attached. Seems like a genuinely good option for, getting a tasty meal sorted, maybe even making some new kitchen memories.
I agree. It shows how even simple-sounding dishes can have all these layers: practicality, history, personal connection. And with Fork and Fry putting the full recipe right there on their site, www.forkandfry.com, it really removes any excuse not to try it if you're curious.
Totally. And hey, if you do try it, we genuinely want to hear about it. Seriously, head over to www.forkandfry.com, grab that recipe. If you make the fish loaf, please share your pictures. Tell us what you thought. Hit us up on social media. Did you stick to their script or did you add your own flair? Feta, olives, something else entirely. We want the details. Give us that recipe feedback.
Yes, we're honestly curious. What's your spin? Did it remind you of anything from your own family cooking? Your feedback makes these dives even better. Let us know right in.
We're already excited for our next deep dive together. But until then, happy cooking, everyone.